interesting thing is that some of those goals, which I thought were nearly impossible, they did come true in a short amount of time. When I look back and I'm like, wow, I can't believe I accomplished those things. This is a really powerful technique for manifesting. And if you're someone like me who's very analytical and I use my logical part of my mind so much, you want something that's not too woo-woo, but you want something effective, right? Well, this might just be it for you. Hi, I'm Kirsten. I'm trained as a clinical hypnotherapist and a transformational life coach. I'm also the author of the book, Power Now, The Art of Getting What You Want. In today's video, I want to share with you a very simple and effective manifesting technique that worked for me, someone who is very logically minded, and I want practical steps. I don't want something like wishing to the stars or anything like this unless it's proven that it can be effective, right? I need something tangible. And this is a technique that somebody taught me probably back in 2014. I tested it out for a few months, and to be honest, I put down some really big goals on the list that I did not think I could accomplish, not anytime soon. Things such as buying a house, going and traveling the world, seeing some of the most beautiful blue oceans, a certain amount of money I wanted to see on one paycheck, and attracting amazing clients, opportunities, attracting business partners or collaborations. And to my surprise, a lot of those things came true. And even when I look back on it to this day, I'm still shocked and surprised. Like, how did these things come true when I set those goals? I had no logical way that those goals would have worked out, such as buying a house. I started using this technique back in 2015, and I was not super consistent, but I did try to do it as much as possible. I missed a few days or a few weeks here and there. And especially there was a part of my mind like, I don't really know if I'm seeing anything. Is this working? But I decided to keep going anyways. And sure enough, my dreams started coming true the next year. And that's within months that things started happening. I wanted to make some really great connections with my business, and that started happening. And it was people that there's no way I could have gotten in front of on my own, and it started happening. And then within just a few short years, I was able to cross a lot of those items off my list. So this is the technique, and I know a lot of you have heard of the Neville Goddard 369 technique, where you're writing your goals down 3 times, then 6 times, then 9 times a day. And that's very powerful. This is different. Get out a journal and dedicate that journal just to your goals, your desires, the things that you want in life. You're going to write at the top of the page, I'm so happy and grateful now that, and you're going to write today's date. Then below, you're going to write your goals in the present tense. So for instance, some of my goals were, I would write, I'm so happy and grateful now that, and then I started with my goals. I've traveled to see many of the most beautiful blue oceans. I attract amazing people and opportunities into my life. And at that time, I was wanting to attract clients at certain paycheck numbers, so I would write that down. I easily attract clients who effortlessly pay me this amount. I earn this amount of money per year, I would write down. And then some of the other ones was, it's been a lifelong dream of mine to own a house. So I said, I own a beautiful house. But the thing is, everyone says you need to know specifically where you want to live, or you want to be as specific as possible with your goals. For myself, I couldn't quite figure out where I wanted to live, because part of me always dreamt of living downtown Vancouver in this beautiful area right by the water with these skyscrapers. They're just gorgeous. And it's a luxurious area. I always dreamed of living downtown Vancouver. Another part of me was like, yeah, but I don't know if I like this city so much. Maybe I want to live where I was raised, in a smaller city. And so then there was another part of me that was like, but maybe I want to live in a small town next to nature in the forest. So sometimes when I was writing this list, because you're supposed to write this list out once every single day. And so sometimes what I would do is I would write that I live in downtown Vancouver, and then other times I would write that I live in nature, that I live in a small town in nature, And sometimes I would say I own a beautiful house with a nice office in it. Other times I would say I live in a very beautiful condo. So I wasn't consistent with where I lived because I couldn't decide where I wanted to live. And it was so hard for me to just pick one. So I kind of changed it every once in a while, but I kept the other goals the same. What I found was I continued doing this, and eventually I ended up living downtown Vancouver in a very beautiful condo right next to the water in this luxurious neighborhood. It was so stunning, I couldn't believe it. And then after a couple years of living there, my partner and I decided, okay, you know what? We're done with the city. Let's move into a smaller town. So we moved into a smaller town, and it was so beautiful, so quiet. But then we decided, you know what? It's time to own a house. So we found the perfect house in nature, and it's beautiful. It's more than I could have dreamed of, really. And so I got to live in all of the places that I listed, which is really funny to me because people always say you have to be specific what you want and know exactly what you want, and I didn't know, but I got to experience all of them. The other things to include on your list are the type of partner that you want, because I did use this to attract the type of partner that I want and the type of friends that I want too. So write things about what type of friendships do you want to have? What type of people do you want in your life? How do they treat you? If you're in business, how much money do you want to earn? What type of clients do you want to attract? What do you want them to say about you, think about you? Things like that. So you can be specific with those type of things. And just write it down every single day, and feel free to change them if they don't quite align. Research proves that people who write their goals down are 42% more likely to achieve their goals. The act of physically writing it down. So can you put this in your phone every day? Yes, for sure. Can you write it on your computer or your laptop every day? Yeah, if that's easiest for you. I was physically writing it down in a notebook with a pen, and I'm old school like that. Sometimes I like to write some things down, and that journal was just dedicated to my goals, my dreams, my visions. And the interesting thing is that some of those goals, which I thought were nearly impossible, they did come true in a short amount of time. When I look back and I'm like, wow, I can't believe I accomplished those things. And yes, there's still some goals on there that didn't come true. And some of those goals where I changed my mind and I decided, you know what, I don't actually want those things anymore. And so you can always update that list, but it's important to get in the habit of writing this down every day. Now, from a logical perspective of why you want to do this, it's because as you're writing this down in the present tense, you're telling your subconscious mind what you want to have, but you're writing it in the first person as if you've already achieved it. So I attract amazing opportunities in my life. I earn X amount of dollars per month or per year. I'm married to this type of person, whatever it is that you want. You're putting it in the present tense. So you're writing these instructions to your subconscious mind as if you already have those things. So therefore your subconscious mind is keeping an eye out for these things and ways that you can attract them. And you never have to worry about the how. You're just putting your goals and desires into your awareness as if you have those things now, and your subconscious mind will keep on the lookout for opportunities or people or things or techniques, whatever it is, that will help you to draw your desires closer to you. Perhaps there's an opportunity to upgrade your skills, and that's going to lead you to something. Perhaps something didn't work out the way you were hoping, and that's actually a redirection towards something better. You never know. The main thing is to just get it into your mind, do it every day, and keep that journal so that you can look back and you can literally cross things off the list. You can see how you've grown and evolved and said, oh yeah, I remember when I wanted that dream and there's no way I would have wanted it now, right? So you get to see the way that you evolved throughout the years. And it's something fun to look back on and just surprise yourself and look and see how far you've come and remember, oh, there was a time when I really wanted this and I can't believe that I got it. and it happened, and you get to feel really grateful and proud of yourself, because they say the only time you should look back is to see how far you've come. I hope that you enjoyed this video today. Perhaps you saw my last video, which was about the manifesting game, which is a really fun video. If you haven't watched that yet, I recommend that you watch that, because I think these two exercises go perfectly hand in hand and they can complement each other. That last video is about up-leveling your mindset and your mood so that you can attract the right things from the right energy level. This is more about the repetition of getting the things, the desires into your subconscious mind so that you are programming your subconscious mind for what you want. Thank you so much for watching. I'll link the other video in the description below. I'll see you in the next video.